Guys, welcome back to the videos. Hope you have watched the previous video on chemical bonding chapter. I have solved some questions and here I have come up with few more questions, and if you look at this question particularly, it looks different but it's very easy to solve. Okay, so just see the way I solve the question. You know what, most of the doubts that you have will get cleared, okay, with this question. Guys, let me read out the question without much delay. Bonding in which of the following diatomic molecules becomes stronger upon removal of one electron? Okay, so always remember, guys. So if you have more number of electrons, so this is a trick that I would like to tell you all. Okay, very important to understand. So when you have more number of electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals, okay, so anti-bonding molecular orbitals, then you would have, you know, low bond order. Low bond order leads to less stability or less stronger. So that bond would be less stronger. Okay, so higher the number of electrons in antibonding molecular orbital, you would expect low bond order, and that leads to the less stability or less strength in the bond. Okay, right? So this is what the thing that you need to know. So how do you know that which molecule has got a higher number of electrons in antibonding molecular orbitals? You will have to write the electronic configuration. Without writing electronic configuration, you can't figure out. Okay, so that is more important, guys. Okay, now electronic configuration for all molecules, do we supposed to write? Not required. Say, look over here, boron is a 10 electron species, isn't it? Carbon C2 is a 12 electron species, and O2 8 plus 8, that is 16 electron species, and this is 14 electron species, and this guy is nitrogen 7 electrons, oxygen 8 electrons. So this guy is 15 electron species. Okay, so here just write the electronic configuration of the species which have got more number of electrons here. Okay, say you no need to include B2, exclude writing for B2. Okay, don't consider for C2 also. So just go on writing for 15 electron species, 14 electron species, and 16 electron species, you know, electronic configuration, because more number of electrons are found only in these species, no, as compared to these two guys, right? Hope you understood. So now I will only write electronic configuration for NO, N2 and O2 first. Okay, so we all know there is a sequence for 14 electron species and below 14, and there is a different sequence for 15 electron species and above 15, right? So NO, right? So NO is a 15 electron species. So what is the sequence? And see the electronic configuration. It is sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, right? Sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. It's a 15 electron species. So sigma 2pz, and after that you will get pi 2px is equal to pi 2pz, and after that you will have pi star 2p x is equal to pi star 2py, and then sigma star 2pz. So this is the sequence that you have to follow for 15 electron species and above 15 electron species. Okay, so now it's a 15 electron. So I'll put 2 electrons here, 2 here. Every orbital gets 2, right? 2 here, right? 2 here. How many are over? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is over. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15th electron, you will get it in the anti-bonding. Here, whichever orbitals that are marked with star mark are anti-bonding. Okay, without star mark, whatever are there, they are bonding molecular orbitals. Okay, so this is for 15 electron species we have written. Now, we will also write for this 16 electron species. Okay, so we'll write for 15 and 16, because again we will eliminate eliminate N2 also because it has got less number of electrons. No, the high electron having species are NO and O2. So answer must be there between NO and O2 here. So I'll only write electronic configuration of NO and O2. So this is NOs. For O2 also, O2 is a 16 electron species. For O2 also, the same sequence we will follow. So sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, so sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, sigma 2pz. Okay, pi 2p x is equal to pi 2p y, sorry, it's y, and pi star 2p x is equal to pi star 2p y, and sigma star 2p z. Okay, so 16 electrons. Now how do I show? 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th one here, 16th one here. Okay, so these are the electronic configuration. So NO molecule has got, so how many anti-bonding electrons are there? How many electrons are there in anti-bonding orbitals? So this is anti-bonding orbital, this is anti-bonding orbital, this is star, this is also anti-bonding orbital. How many electrons are there? 2 to 5 are there. 5 electrons are there in anti-bonding orbitals. So now in O2, how many electrons are there in anti-bonding orbitals? So 2 here, 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. So this fellow has got 6 electrons in the anti-bonding orbital. So obviously in this state, which one has got which one is less stable in fact, right? So less stable in the sense low bond order. When do you get low bond order? When you have too many electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbital. So definitely this O2 is less stable. So this O2 is basically less stable, okay, because the number of anti-bonding or electrons are more in O2, okay. But now the question is, bonding in which of the following diatomic molecules becomes stronger upon removal of one electron? See, when I remove this electron, when I remove this electron from NO, number of electrons in anti-bonding will become 4. Okay, so when I remove one electron from this fellow, number of electrons in anti-bonding will become 5 electron. So now which of them gets more stabilized on removing one electron? Actually both of them will get stabilized on removing one electron from anti-bonding, but out of 2 you have to select only one. No, so which of them is getting more stabilized by removing one electron in anti-bonding? It is NO. Okay, so in fact speaking, removal of electrons from anti-bonding gives stability for a molecule. I repeat once again, removal of electrons from anti-bonding orbital gives stability to a molecule. Why it gives stability to a molecule? Because it increases bond order, isn't it? Lesser the number of anti-bonding molecular orbital. When you have less number of electron, bond order is more. More the bond order, more is the stability. That is the concept, guys. So actually both of them have got electrons in anti-bonding. Both of them will get stabilized when electron is removed. But out of 2, which one can get the more stabilized? Definitely lower the number of electrons in anti-bonding. More is the bond order, more is the stability. So out of 2, if you want to decide which one is getting more stabilized by removal of anti-bonding electron, then the answer would be NO. Okay, so guys, I tried my level best to make you understand this question and solve this question. So I just wanted your opinion. Did you understand the concept? So did you just understood the complexity of a question here? Question looks simple, but it is all there in how you understand, and you should know this particular trick. That's very, very important. Okay, so if you have liked this question, if you have learned something new in this question or from this video, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so I want your opinion in the comment section. So what you learned from this question, what is the new things that you have learned? I want you to share, guys, if you respect me. Okay, so thank you so much, and going on to the next question. Yeah, this is also a conceptual question. Okay, see, it was asked even in it was asked in JEE mains. Okay, which of the following statements regarding bond order is correct according to molecular orbital theory? You know, these questions looks very simple to pick out the answer, but guys, which of the following is incorrect, which of the following is correct? These questions are perfectly concept based. If you know concept, you will get the answer, otherwise you will end up in marking the wrong option. Okay, where your negative marking thing can get improved, it will get increased. Okay, so be careful with that. So which of the following statement regarding bond order is correct according to molecular orbital theory? Okay, yes. Let's read out the option. Bond order increases with addition of anti-bonding electron. Just now in the previous question only I have given trick. More the number of electrons in anti-bonding lowers the bond order. Okay, yes. So more electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbital, lower is bond order. This is the trick. Just based on the trick, one more question they have asked. Okay, that's why I told you this trick is very, very important. Okay, so what they said, bond order increases with addition of anti-bonding. No, bond order in fact decreases with the increase of electrons in anti-bonding, isn't it? So this is not the option. Option 2, let us read out. Bond order decreases with the addition of anti-bonding electron. Yes, this is the option correct. What is the third option? Bond order remains unchanged. No. Bond order always equals to the number of bonds in living structure. No. Okay, so definitely option 2 is the correct answer. See, the same concept. See, the trick is what? This is the concept. See, the same concept asked in this format and it was also asked in this format. Look at here, concept is same, but the way they framed question is different. Concept is what? Concept is this, but the way they framed question is different, right? So this is the pattern you have to observe and do a smart study relating to chemistry. Definitely your score in JEE and NEET will get improved. And for the concepts, you know, you have to come into my courses. All the concepts are beautifully explained in the course, and for the courses, do check it out, the comments as well as the description. Okay, yes. So now moving further, which of the following molecules has got highest bond order? Say, for figuring out bond order, every time you no need to write electronic configuration. Okay, so you just have a trick here. Okay, so anything which is having a 14 electron species have got the bond order 3. Okay, for 15, just decrease the 0.5 as you go down. Okay, so it will have 2.5. For 16 electron species, you will have a bond order 2.0. For 17 electron species, it is 1.5. For 18 electron species, it is 1. And similarly, for 13 electron species, it is 2.5. For 12 electron species, it is 2. For 11 electron species, it is 1.5. And for 10 electron species, it is 1. Okay, so this is what the trick, if you know, you no need to write electronic configuration. So now just look at N2 is 14 electron species. If it is a 14 electron species, what would be the bond order? So bond order is 3. And O2 is a 16 electron species. For 16 electron species, what is the bond order? Bond order is 2. For O2 plus, O2 is 16, plus means 1 electron you remove. That means it's a 15 electron species. For 15 electron species, what is the bond order? 2.5. And this guy O2 is 16, minus 1 means you add 1. That means it's a 17 electron species. For 17 electron species, what is the bond order? 1.5. So what is the question they are asking? N2 has got bond order 3, O2 has got 2, O2 plus has got 2.5, O2 minus has got bond order 1.5. Okay, highest bond order is definitely 3, that is N2. So N2 is the answer here. Okay, so hope you understood. Many of them will write electronic configuration and then check, but you no need to write electronic configuration if you can just remember this trick. Okay, so that's all about this question. Now moving on to the next question, similar to the question that we solved in the previous video. Okay, which of the following molecules has a dipole moment of 0? So when do you have dipole moment 0? Perfect geometry, perfect geometry when you have, okay, without lone pair and same side atom, okay, say CO2 sp hybridization, no lone pair, side atoms are same. Okay, everywhere the side atoms are same only, but here you will find lone pair, here you have lone pair, here you have lone pair. So this is the only guy without lone pair and perfect geometry. So this one will have the 0 dipole moment, okay, non-polar molecule. So yes. Now moving on to the next question. Among BF, NH3, CH4 and H2O, which has the smallest bond angle? Guys, so bond angle related trick, very amazing trick I have created and made a video on it, and the video link I will give in the description, guys. Please watch the trick on bond angle. So the questions relating to bond angle is very common in the competitive exam, and if you learn the trick, it's very easy to find out the answer, guys. Okay, so usually the concept is what, when all of them have got different hybridization, you know what, our bond order is directly proportional to S character in the hybridization, S character. Okay, so that means if any molecule has got sp hybridization, it has got greater bond order than sp2. sp2 hybridization containing molecules have got greater bond order than sp3. Okay, so if all the molecules have got same hybridization, same S character, then you will have to look for lone pairs. So your bond order is always inversely proportional, sorry, bond angle, right? So not bond order, so bond angle here, right? So your bond angle is inversely proportional to, lone pair. Lower the number of lone pairs, more is the bond angle. So higher the number of lone pairs, less is the bond angle because of the repulsions between lone pair. Okay, so now when all of them have got the same S character, then you will have to look for seeing the lone pairs. Okay, so these are the 2 points we'll apply here. BF3 has got sp2 hybridization, NH3 sp3, this has got sp3, and H2O also has got sp3. Okay, so now bond angle is directly proportional to the S character. More the S character, then more is the bond angle, isn't it? So of course BF3 has got the highest bond angle as compared to these three guys. Okay, so BF3 has got highest. Now what is the question asked? Among all of them, which has the smallest? So this is eliminated here. With the first point, this is eliminated. Now you have to check the answer between these three guys. Okay, now all of them have got same hybridization. Now look for lone pairs. Okay, so how many lone pairs NH3 has got? NH3 has got one lone pair, guys. Okay, so that just use the trick and identify, right? CH4 has got 0 lone pair and H2O has got 2 lone pair. Okay, so higher the lone pairs, least is the bond angle. So higher lone pairs you will find in H2O. So H2O has got the least bond angle. H2O has got the least bond angle. Okay, so many of such questions I have solved in my concept videos and in the trick videos. So just you can look for the courses, or you can look, I think I have a video in YouTube which I have given it for free also. So the trick on bond angle. So I'll share the link in the comment section. Please watch that video. You will understand this trick. Okay. So this is a very common model that can be asked on chemical bonding. So now coming to the last question, probably the hybridization of central atom in XCF4. So just use the trick on hybridization. XeF4. So Xe is the central atom. It belongs to 18th group. So it has got 8 valence electrons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many side atoms? 4. So 4 electrons must have been used. What is the trick? Number of lone pairs plus number of sigma bonds. So how many lone pairs? 2 lone pairs. How many sigma bonds? 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 if you get, what is the hybridization? sp3d2. So hybridization is sp3d2. Okay? Yes. That's all about the question. And finally, I would like to show you a few points that I have collected looking at the previous year papers, guys. See, molecular orbital theory, frequency of asking question is very high here. Okay, so let me just change the color of the pen here. Yeah. See, molecular orbital, very high frequency. I mean, most of the questions when you look into previous years, the concept that was continuously being asked is MOT. Okay, and what kind of questions you will observe? Questions on bond order is very common. Questions on magnetic behavior. Questions on existence of molecule. Like in the previous video I have solved which of the molecule exists, which of them does not exist, and bond order related concept questions, all of them were very, very common. Okay, and coming to the hybridization, the concept is very important. There are high chances of asking from hybridization. So what kind of questions were very common? Determination of hybridization of central atom. Okay, say for example this kind of question. See, central atoms hybridization, they asked you to identify, XeF4, what is the hybridization of central atom? That kind of questions were very, very common, it seems. Vesper theory, high chances of asking. Prediction of geometries, they will ask you, especially seesaw geometry, linear geometry, trigonal planar geometry, all that you have to focus. Bond angle trends are also very high. Comparative bond angle problems, like the question that I have just solved in the video, those kind of questions are very, very common on bond angle. And dipole moment related questions are medium to high category. Okay, isoelectronic species questions are also medium to high category. Bond energy, bond length, lone pair, bond pair, repulsion kind of things, sigma and pi bonding, paramagnetic, diamagnetic identification, formal charge and resonance. So these are the concepts which were moderately asked. Okay, so what they can ask on bond energy, like order of bond strength, bond length, everything they'll ask. Say this one question relating to this I have solved in the previous video. Okay, few questions we have solved in the previous video. Please do watch that video also. Okay, so that's all about the chemical bonding guys. So I think the questions were helpful for you. I think you have got pretty new tricks and pretty new points to remember, and I think this analysis gave you more clarity on what exactly you have to concentrate, which concept have to be focused more, and everything, right? So tell me, how did these videos are helping you? Please let me know in the comment section, guys. Okay, so see you all in the next video with another chapter. Thank you so much.